Hi, you guys. It's Miss All Day. This is your last new lesson. Can you believe it? Wow, you've come a long way, and I'm so proud of you. You're going to be prepared for ATM next year. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Pull out your 8-5 notes. Yesterday, we did day 1 or part A. We did this section where it says adding and subtracting rational expressions. So we're going to turn it over to the back, or it might just be a second page for you. We're going to start out again finding the least common multiple, but these are going to be a little bit more enhanced, okay? They're going to be a little bit more complicated. So let's go ahead and get started. Pull up a different color. All right. You see the 4. You see the x plus 4. Your least common multiple is 4 times x plus 4 because 4 can go into that and x plus 4 can go into that. So that one really, even though it looked like it was going to be hard, that was pretty easy. All right, let's look at this next one. Least common multiple. I think I'll put colons instead of equal signs. Well, we're going to write x plus 2. And we're going to write x minus 5. There we go. There's your least common multiple. Now, so that really wasn't that hard. Now, when you get to this third one, you're going to have to do something to this trinomial. Because notice how when we first started on this row, we had a monomial and a binomial. We had a binomial and a binomial. Okay, those were the easy ones. When you have a trinomial, it's going to be a little bit different. You need to go ahead and break this one down into x and 4 and 1 and plus and plus. All right, now, do you see how this is an x plus 4 and this is an x plus 4? So your least common multiple, both of those have x plus 4s in common. I can divide x plus 4 into x plus 4, and I can divide this x plus 4 into x plus 4. All right, so the only other thing I don't have is the x plus 1. All right, so we're going to write x plus 1. So that really wasn't hard. Remember how when we had like maybe, we'll say 3m squared and maybe 9m cubed. We looked at the highest number and we're like, okay, 9 times 1. Does 3 go into 9? Yeah, so we're 9, least common multiple. We picked the variable that had the highest exponent. Okay, so this one was used here and here, but we only use it once. Just like down here, 3 was used once here, and 3 was used twice here. So we had to use it twice because 9 can't go into 3, but 3 can go into 9. Okay? So x minus 1 can go into this because there's an x minus 1 there. All right, so those are the least common multiples. So if you look at this next one, it was a monomial and a binomial. So we're going to do what we did to the one right above it, where we had the 4 and the x plus 4. All right, but first, I don't like how it's set. I don't like doing mine horizontally. So we're going to do them vertically. So 1 over 4m plus m plus 5 over m minus 2, and put parentheses around the m minus 2. And let's go ahead and put parentheses, around the m plus 5. All right, draw a line, equals. We know that the least common multiple is going to be 4m times m minus 2. All right, 4m times m minus 2. All right, I'm going to choose another color. All right, so what did I have to multiply this m minus 2 by to get this whole thing here? It's just the 4m, right? Okay, so we're going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 4m. So this one is by 4m, and this, I'm going to put the 4m up front. Now we're going to distribute it. 4m times m is 4m squared. Got to put my fraction bar. Let me fix that. All right, 4m times 5 is 20m. All right, we distributed that. All right, now for the top part, what did I have to multiply this 4m by to get 4m times m minus 2? Well, m minus 2, obviously, right? So we multiplied this times m minus 2. 1 times m minus 2 is just going to give me m minus 2. All right, I'm going to drop the parentheses with the m minus 2. And I'm going to add the numerators together. Okay, so I'm going to start off with 4m squared. Got that one done. This is 1m and 20m, and that makes 21m. And then we have a minus 2. All right, get rid of all that scribble scrabble. All right, all over 4m times m minus 2. All right, so that is our answer. Now, how do I know I'm done? Well, I look at the trinomial up top in the numerator, and they don't all have anything in common. And if I went over and tried to factor it out, it's not going to happen. It's not going to factor. Now, you might have to try it out because you might not know that right away. And remember, you could do it using the Xbox method, okay, to try to figure it out. But it can't be factored. So that is, yes, that is the final answer. All right, let's look at B. This is going to be our least common denominator, least common multiple, b minus 5 times b plus 2. All right, so we're going to start off with putting it vertically, b plus 1 over b minus 5. Okay, let's put those in parentheses. When you see that there's 2 of them, a binomial, put them in parentheses. Plus b over b plus 2. Put that in parentheses. All right, I'm gonna have a little bit of room here to give us so we know what we're multiplying. Okay, now our least common denominator is going to be b minus 5 times b plus 2. All right, so we're going to put those in the denominator. B minus 5 times b plus 2. All right, our next step is, what do I have to multiply this b minus 5 to get b minus 5, b plus 2? So obviously b plus 2, right? So whatever you multiply the denominator by, you have to multiply the numerator by. So if you look at that, you see you're going to use FOIL. Some people like to do distribution. I can show you another way to do it if you want me to. All right, so in the bottom, b plus 2 times b minus 5 will give me my new denominator. So I'm going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by b minus 5. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do FOIL. Or actually, let me show you real quick another way you could do this if you wanted to. Is I could take the b plus 1, and the b plus 2, and the b plus 2, and I can multiply like this. B times b is going to be b squared. 1 times b is going to be 1b plus 1b. You don't have to put the 1 there if you don't want to. B times 2 is going to be positive 2b. And then 2 times 1 is going to be positive 2. So that's one way that you could actually multiply that. Maybe it looked better just by looking at it like a table. So that's going to be b squared. And we're going to do 1b and 2b make 3b. And then plus 2. All right, so that's one way you could do it. The other way is by foiling it. So we're not going to do it by foiling because I'm sure you're used to that one. All right, for the Next numerator, we just have to distribute, okay? So b times b is b squared, and b times -5 is -5b. All right, so we have b squared plus b squared. Well, that's 2b squared. And we have a positive 3b and a negative 5b, and that's going to make a negative 2b. And then we have a 2 plus 2. Now, we could pull out a 2, but if we did, it would be b squared minus b plus 1. And we're not going to be able to factor that anymore. Okay, so since we are not going to be able to factor it anymore, there's no need to pull the 2 out unless you know for sure that you can factor it. So we're going to put it over b minus 5 and b plus 2, and that is your answer. All right, let's look at C. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that negative right there and I'm going to distribute it. So this negative right here, okay, I'm going to distribute that negative. That's what I'm distributing. So it's going to be negative n and -5, and I'm going to turn this negative sign down into a plus sign. All right, so we have 4 over 3. Now, for this part, do you see they both have a 3 in common? That's going to help me this time. I'm going to pull out the 3, and that's going to be n plus 1. That's going to be helpful in just a minute. All right, now I'm going to rewrite 4/3 plus negative n minus 5 over 3 times n plus 1. All right, do you see how they both have a 3? Well, that means my least common multiple is going to have a 3. Now, this has an n plus 1, so we're going to have to put that as part of our least common multiple, n plus 1. Because remember, 3 has to be able to go into that, and the n plus 1 has to be able to go into that as well as the 3. All right. So I don't have to do anything to this one right here. It's already ready. I didn't change anything. I didn't multiply the numerator or the denominator by anything. Now, for this one, I'm multiplied by n plus 1 to get that. So I'm going to have to multiply by n plus 1. All right. All right, we're going to distribute the 4. So 4 times n is 4n, and 4 times 1 is 4. Now we're going to combine like terms. 4n minus 1n is going to give me 3n, and 4 minus 5 is going to give me -1, all over 3 times n plus 1. Okay, that's your answer. Now, some people don't like leaving like one as a 3n minus 1 and the other as a 3 on the outside. They like to distribute. That is not necessary. You're adding an extra step that you don't have to do. If you can't cancel it when you distribute, and if I distribute, it's going to end up looking like this. 3n minus 1 over 3n plus 1, and you can't cancel them. So don't worry about distributing if it's not going to help you cancel. Not on that last step. All right, D, we see that these two multiplied together, that's going to be your least common multiple. So W minus 4 over W plus 2. Put them both in parentheses. I'm going to put this minus sign here. I'm going to change it to a plus sign and change that to a minus. So -3 over W plus 1, put it in parentheses. All right, I'm going to write our least common multiple, which is W plus 1 times W plus 2. And I'm going to have to multiply this by W plus 2. And then up here, W plus 1 times W plus 2. I'm going to have to multiply the W minus 4 times the W plus 1. All right, now let's multiply them. We distribute this one. -3 times W is -3W. And -3 times 2 is -6. All right, I'm going to do FOIL this time. First times first is W squared. Outer times outer. 1 times W is 1W. inner times inner. Negative 4 times w is negative 4w. And then last times last. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. And extend this line a little bit. All right, so now we're going to combine like terms. We have w squared. We have 1w minus 4w is negative 3w. And that negative 3w plus this negative 3w is going to give us negative 6w. And then negative 4 minus 6 is going to be negative 10. All over w plus 1 times w plus 2. Now, normally, I would see if I could factor this into w, 5, and 2, but I know there's no way on earth I can get a negative 6 out of 10 and 1 being the factors or 5 and 2 being the factors. So you do not have to do that step. That is your answer right there. All right, 2 more, and this is going to be the last of your new material before you go into whatever next year's class is, or before you graduate for my seniors, our seniors. All right, let's go ahead and go to E. I'm going to take this b squared minus 9, and we're going to go ahead and factor it, because that's going to be b plus 3 and b minus 3. We already have a b plus 3 over here, so that right there is going to be our least common multiple. All right, so we're going to do 2 over b plus 3. I'm going to put it in parentheses, plus 4 over b plus 3 times b minus 3. All right, I'm going to rewrite my common denominator, which is b plus 3 times b minus 3, b plus 3 times b minus 3. All right. This second one doesn't change because we didn't multiply anything by the denominator. All right, for this top one, we multiplied by b minus 3, so we're going to have to multiply by b minus 3. So we're going to distribute. 2 times b is 2b, and 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Now we're going to combine like terms. We have 2b, and then negative 6 and 4 make negative 2 all over b plus 3 times b minus 3. And that's going to be your answer. Now you may think, well, what if I had pulled out a 2 and did b minus 1? That would have been great if we could have canceled something, but we can't cancel anything. So don't work harder, work smarter, okay? So that's going to be your answer for E. All right, this is our last one. And we're going to take this first denominator and break it down into h plus 2 and h plus 1. So we already have an h plus 1, so that is our common denominator. I'm going to take that negative, I'm going to change it to a positive. I'm going to distribute the negative, make this negative, and make that negative. So we have h minus 6 over h plus 2 times h plus 1 equals, and then we're going to have negative h minus 3 over h plus 1 equals. All right, we're going to write our least common multiple, which is h plus 2 times h plus 1, and this first fraction does not change. And then we're going to put h plus 2 times h plus 1. We had to multiply by h plus 2. So we're going to have to close parentheses here and do h plus 2. So go ahead and pause the video and you do that. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep working. That way when you get back, I'll have it ready for you. So negative h times h is negative h squared. 2 times negative h is negative 2h. And negative 3 times h is negative 3h. And then negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. All right, so we're going to combine like terms. There's only one h squared, so it's negative h squared. We have a negative 2h and a negative 3h. That makes negative 5h plus a positive 1h will be negative 4h. Then we have a negative 6 and a negative 6, and that's going to be negative 12. All right, and we're going to put it all over h plus 2 times h plus 1. Now that is our answer, but how do we know that's our answer? Okay, I'm going to go off to the side. I'm going to erase for a minute just to give me some scratch work room, just to show you how I know that's the answer and it can't factor anymore and be canceled anymore, because it can happen. What you would do is you would factor out the negative for h squared. That's going to be plus 4h plus 12. And you think of two numbers that when multiplied could give you 12, but when added or subtracted give you 4, and that's only going to be 6 and 2. And it has to be a positive 6, and you can't let that be a negative 2, because that right there would be negative 12. So you can't factor it. Plus, what you factored it with couldn't have even been able to cancel. All right, so that's your final answer. All right, today is May the 11th, Monday. We did adding and subtracting rational expressions with unlike denominators with polynomials. Your homework for today is to do the 8.5B worksheet and then check your answers on Focus. And you also need to do the 8.5 test prep worksheet. And then this is the one you're going to upload into Focus. Now I'm going to look at it real quick and see which problems you're going to be doing. Just do 1 through 4. Okay, but you got to show your work on it. 1 through 4. All right? All right, you guys. I really appreciate your hard work. I appreciate your work ethic. I hope that you are so successful next year in whatever math class you go into. This might be the last time that a whole bunch of people are listening to me at the same time. So what I want to do now is I want to pull up your pacing guide for week 7 and 8. All right, so this is your pacing guide. This is what we just got finished doing, was this lesson. Do a different color, where you do the 8.5 worksheet, but you do the upload for the test prep, do questions numbers 1 through 4. You're going to do your review sheet tomorrow. Okay, then you're going to upload it into Focus. You're going to do your test on Wednesday. It's your last test, okay? And you're going to upload it into Focus. Then you're going to start a course review section. So you're going to have a review sheet that you download. It's called the Final Exam Review Sheet, okay? But you're going to do it in sections. So for Monday, I'm sorry, this is Thursday all day. Sorry about that. Thursday, not Monday. For Thursday, you're going to do 5.1 and 5.2 and then upload it. And then Friday, you're going to do 5.3 through 5.6 and 5.9 and upload it. You can have up until Sunday night at midnight to have that uploaded. And every Sunday at midnight, that's when everything should be uploaded for that week to make sure you're up to par. Now, my seniors, for Miss Allday, I have 3 wonderful seniors. This is going to be your last assignment on that Friday. So I need you to upload it so I can do your grades come Monday, okay, and finalize your grades. That's your last assignment. All right, for my freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, for the following week, you'll have sections 6.1 to 6.3 and then upload, 6.4 to 6.7 and then upload, 7.1 to 7.3 and upload, 7.4 to 7.6 and upload. And then this day right here, I'm calling it my catch-up day. everything should be turned in that day so I could close out your grades. So make sure that you show your work when you do those uploads. And you guys, I really appreciate your hard work again. I guess I'll be seeing you soon, I hope. So I'm going to close out real quick and I'll